Hello, this is Bill Clodsey. Welcome to a Ravnica Allegiance draft here on Magic Online. This is a competitive queue, so we're going to try to win some matches and make it to the finals, because it is single elimination. Wow, the first time I've seen Rakdos. 6 mana, 6/6 flying trample, and when it enters, every creature has a coin flipped, and half of them are doomed to die. That's awesome. That's showy, and I'm going to try it out here. Other notables, Savage Smash is good. Also commits you to a guild. Nothing else amazing. Ministrant is a role player. Cry is fine, but wow. The Demon is back. The legendary Showstopper. Cavalcade? No, we want our creatures to be big. Big creatures. Oh, wait, do we? Or do we start doing Goblin Gatherings? We could just mass all of the Goblin Gatherings and hope the Showstopper can still get there. Maybe that can wheel, though. People aren't always interested in Goblin Gatherings, and I really do like Get to the Point. It's a bit expensive, but we can pick our creatures up later. And the worst is wasting second pick on a card that is only good in multiples, and then never seeing another one. What's the option here? I think it's more removal. Grotesque Demise is just a solid piece of removal in this set. Kills most things, even a lot of the more annoying things with high toughness. So it often trades up. Like here we have a 3-power Mammoth Spider, and there's some Azorius things that it takes down. So yeah, I'm going to grab that here over the Roustabout. I'm definitely interested in these Rakdos creatures, but we have to spend our high picks here on removal, and I'm not too sad about it. The Showstopper, I mean, if your opponent has more creatures than you, you're going to get more value out of Showstopper. Enters the battlefield. Flip a coin for each creature that isn't a demon. I wonder how many demons there are in this set. Maybe just the Showstopper itself. Anyway, Ill-Gotten Inheritance is amazing, even if you're a Rakdos deck. It looks like it ought to be Orzhov, but the ability drains a life every turn, so it actually turns on all of your Spectacle, which is the Rakdos mechanic. And that's kind of insane. Much better than any random creature that we could find, so happy to find that. This is a draft so far, to put it lightly. Spewer, in my experience, this is awful. Mainly it is just an enabler for Spectacle, but not really the way to go. Oh no, this whole pack's bad though. Maybe it's fine if you're doing Ill-Gotten Inheritance and you expect to be ahead in life. I just don't think this is what you want. I'm not even going to pick it here. What are the other options? Gruul Guildgate, Savage Smash, and I guess Consign to the Pit. I'm going to take Gruul Guildgate so that we could potentially splash something if the playables aren't coming. Another Get to the Point. This is going to be the most controlling Rakdos deck ever played, but that will be my pick here. I wonder, since this is still in the pack, if someone took a Rakdos creature instead of Get to the Point. Maybe they value the 2 drops or something. But it isn't what I would expect, necessarily. Footlight Fiend is a nice one. Rafter Demon is not good. It's okay. You can play it, but I just wouldn't want to. You know, there's better 4-drops and better creatures. The Spectacle is nice if you happen to curve out perfectly and get their last card or something. I'm actually going to take Rakdos Guildgate here over the Fiend. Maybe not. Yeah. Oh, it's a late gate, but I just don't have any creatures yet. And we can expect to get some creatures, but if we don't, we're going to really want that Fiend. Spire Mangler. That's not a bad one. The artist does, I don't know, does come out pretty early, attacks with haste, and has some good reach to kill your opponent in the late game. It's not a demon or anything like that. I think the Spire Mangler's just better. That's tough. Yeah, I'm gonna take the Spire Mangler. It's just so hard to cast a 2-mana creature with 2 requirements of the colors. Unless you have a couple of gates, but we missed that. Now, I don't necessarily want all 3 drops, but I will take the Roustabout on the wheel. And the Goblin Gathering is back. That could be a good sign. We'll just have to see. Another Roustabout, and another Roustabout, and no more. No more Roustabouts this pack. Yeah, now I'm regretting a little bit taking the Mangler over the 2-drop. But I guess I'm still happy about the Fiend over the Gate. Yeah, nobody likes this demon. It is a demon. So, synergy with our showstopper. Maybe that's why they printed it here and made it so bad. Because it's actually somewhat decent with Rakdos. Instead of a 50% chance to live, it has a 100% chance to live. They should have all surviving creatures become demons. Anyway, the nice part about Footlight Fiend over a Gate is that it'll be very easy to cast it. Anything good in this pack? We have Gate Colossus, and no, nothing else good. Absorb, Bellhaunt. Colossus is very difficult for us to cast. Grasping Thrall. I don't want to splash any Gruul cards here. So weak. Such a weak pack. Thirsting Shade is the card that looks the best. I'll take the Gate Colossus. I just can't bring myself to take anything else there. Macabre Mockery. Kind of an aggressive one. I guess your best bet here is to ambush them on their attack with one of their own creatures. Or just kill them. And then two pretty good options. Active Treason, no. 3-drop, no. I'll take the Mockery. It's good on defense, good on offense. Doesn't really do either super well, but well enough. Here I'll take the Enforcer. Our deck is already looking kind of, or potentially it's looking defensive, and the Enforcer is a nice one to get in attacks every turn. Maybe activate your Spectacle, but not too bad even if it dies to Rakdos or something, because you get your little afterlife thing. What is this? Priest of Forgotten God. Sacrifice 2 other creatures. Your opponent sacrifices 1 and you draw a card. I don't know. Maybe just another Get to the Point? And this card, I think this card's pretty bad, because if you're not using the activated ability, you're getting behind. Your opponents will lose life, so unless you have a lot of expendable creatures for some reason, and your opponent has like very few good, like few but good creatures, then you're not getting a huge bonus out of this. Hard to use. Take another Get to the Point. Now we pretty much just want early stuff. Dead Revels could be some good value, but I'm going to grab a creature here to fill in our curve. Gate Colossus, not worth it for 8 mana. 8 mana, 8/8, that's decent, but once you get a couple gates in your deck, it starts becoming more appealing. I mean, nothing, no revelation there, just kind of true. But you don't need too many gates before it becomes playable. Another Goblin Gathering. Yeah, it'd be fun to get a lot of these. And I should mention that I misread Rakdos a little bit the first time. It says, flip a coin for each creature that isn't a demon, devil, or imp. Now, that excludes Footlight Fiend here, and the Rafter Demon from being sacrificed to the to the revels. But yeah, so we have to watch out for imps and devils in addition to demons. I'll take the second gathering here. Fill the deck with gatherings. Oh, Vindictive Vampire. I quite like this one here. I also like the Footlight Fiend, but we're going to be trading off and losing all kinds of creatures. So maybe that's just good enough. And even if the Vindictive Vampire dies to Rakdos, its trigger will still go off for all the other creatures that die at the same time. Or at least that's my understanding of it. Undercity's Embrace. Not insanely good, but I don't love Stormstrike either. Maybe Stormstrike's okay. It's surprising annoying to play around a Stormstrike. Transport, that's no imp either, but it's our first 5-drop, or well, it's a 6-drop creature. Yeah, they really value Afterlife, and it makes sense. Do you pay 1 extra to get 2 spirits afterwards? I guess. Act of Treason, no. Rafter Demon number 2, no. Vandal, maybe that has some utility. Hopefully I just get 4 or 5 Goblin Gatherings by the end of this. Who knows? Bladebrand, sure. Target creature gains Death Touch until end of turn. When it dies, deal 1 damage to any target. I'm pretty sure that would be Death Touch. So it could kill 2 things in a turn? Yeah, maybe that's okay. Acrobat or Goblin. This is just a Goblin Piker for us unless we play our 1 Guild Gate. Kind of sad we didn't pick up that Rakdos Gate. Yeah, take the Acrobat here. Rakdos Locket. That's something. Can we get some good stuff? The Benthid is really good. Unfortunately, we're not equipped to take advantage of it. A lot of creatures for 5 mana. And this one has hexproof as long as you have these annoying little squid illusions. Firewheeler. It's the only card we can take, but we don't have the fixing to make it consistent. I'll still take it here, but that's tough. Tough to pass an insane card and take kind of a medium card for us. Maybe it's better than Acrobat, even though it'll be tough to cast. But I would love to get some fixing. Rubble Belt Recluse, a nice staple for these kind of decks. I might pass that here and just get some more stuff to do early, like the Plague White. Plague Whites are annoying. They kind of get through a lot of boards where you wouldn't expect them to. Scorchmark, Cult Guildmage. Yeah, I might grab the Guildmage here. We have plenty of 3-drops. We'll have options for which ones to play. We don't have as many good 2-drops. Scorchmark is fine, but it doesn't deal with everything. And the Guildmage is a nice one. Get to the point number 4. Wow, really, get to the point already. Get to the point number 4. You know what? Sure, let's just do it. Let's just take all of them. And an Artist and a Blade Juggler. The Artist doesn't make sense in this deck, not really. It's a hard to cast 2 mana 2/2 haste. And then we don't have a million things to sacrifice to it, so I'll take the Juggler. Some of the time we'll get that down early and keep drawing cards. Burn Bright is the kind of card you want if you have just a million Goblin Gatherings, which we don't. So I don't even want to pretend like I want this card. I could take the Rafter Demon though. Wow, we're not getting any fixing this game. This draft rather. Whatever it is. Another Bladebrand. 21. So I do have 1 Bladebrand. Oh, there it is. I think we need this. Our only Rakdos Guildgate so far. I mean, we're only 2 colors, so it shouldn't matter that much. However, we have a lot of these strict mana requirements. We don't have a single red card in our deck. Hackerbat is good. Or a mono red card, I should say. Hackerbat is definitely good. I'm going to take the Guildgate. Our deck is powerful enough, I just want more consistency here. A million of these Thirsting Shades. Maybe I could take one. I do like Deface for the sideboard. Yeah, I'll take a Deface. There's some good creatures that could deal with. Recluse, we have some good 4-drops here in our sideboard already. Infiltrator. Mangler, that's an upgrade to the Infiltrator, slightly. The Artist. Alright, we just about got there. Hopefully a million get the points, whatever. Hopefully having 4 of those is powerful. I mean, it's got to be, right? And then we can just put in a Blade Brand and win off the back of these creatures. Roustabouts are aggressive. Artists can finish off the game. I'd love to get this vampire combo going. And once we get the Inheritance in play and kill all our opponent's annoying creatures, we should be in good shape. There aren't many creatures that can't be killed in this format, like big hexproof things that you can suit up with like lifelink and flying. So it's not a very annoying format to play. You can answer most of what your opponents can do. They even have a bunch of plummets and a bunch of like disenchants at common. So the most annoying cards of all have answers at common. And there are some annoying enchantments that if you've played this format you might have encountered. Combine, look at that curve. That's not bad. Not bad at all. Yeah, thank goodness for this one Guildgate. The other thing is, do we need all of this land? Or can we go to 16 land and then play something else? Like another Blade Brand. Or maybe even, let's see. Yeah, how good is the Blade Brand here? Maybe it's not that good. The second one is not that good. The first one's pretty good. But if I'm going to play another one, I'm going to want a cheap card. Like Storm Strike. Okay, let's take a look at that first. So 23 black cards, 14 red cards. And that would let us play 9-7? No, that can't be right. I think okay. I'm going to go up 1 land here. The big thing is our mana requirement. So add a black. We can function a little bit without black, but we can't function without, or sorry, we can't function without black. We can function a little bit without red. 10-8, maybe 11-7 would be enough. Or even 10-7 if we did want to cut a mountain for a spell. I mean, we only have 5 red cards early, but then we have Rakdos Firewheeler. That's tough. The other option here is to cut something and put in Burning Tree Vandal. Discard a card, draw a card. So if we're playing 17 lands, we could discard the extras. Wouldn't know what to cut for that though. Seven. Yeah, maybe I do that. 10-7. Okay. Mana's going to be tough, but I think once we're up to 1 black, we're in good shape. And we can definitely deal with a lot and make it into the late game. So sounds like it'll be a good show. See you in the matches. Okay, I just noticed something when I was queuing up, and that is all these get to the points have scry 1. We do have a 6-drop in our deck, and this is 6 to activate, and I want to be on the play. So there's a lot of reasons to go up to 17. So I'm going to add that mountain back in and take out shoot. I'll take out the Vandal. Yeah, I like that a little better. Or maybe take out a Roustabout and put in the Vandal. And then I feel a little more comfortable with playing 17 lands. Okay, so there it is, the new improved version of the deck. Small tweak, but I like that a bit better. The deck's powerful. This will make it a little more consistent to get up to 5, which is what we really need. Round 1 versus Jack 7140, and I would love to be on the play. Another benefit of having more lands. Just a smoother curve out, and a good hand here. All the colors we need, and a plan to at least get something down eventually. You have an interesting choice here. You can target your opponent's creatures with Blade Brand, so you can cantrip it pretty early in the game, which might be worth it to try to find a 4-drop and keep curving out. So if they drop some kind of like 1/3, I could consider using that, but no time for that. No chance to do that anymore. Macabre Mockery. We have kill spells eventually. These are not the cards we want in our opening hand. Cry of the Carnarium, also not great. But at least they don't get a 2-for-1 here, it's just a 1-for-1. Save themselves a bit of trouble. We were on the play, so they're really incentivized to trade off 1-for-1. It does give them a bit of an advantage. Spirit of the Spires. Alright. I'm gonna give my thing Death Touch and draw a card so we can maybe hit our land drop here, because I know I'm going to demise the Spirit and just get that 2 in there. We're gonna have to kill that thing eventually anyway. See if they keep casting better stuff, or if we can get a pass here. Alright, that's a Locket and a Plague White, so nothing we can't get past. Land would be good. Oh, too funny though. We keep exiling creatures instead of putting them in the graveyard. So the Mockery's still not doing much. Of course they never block here. Kind of a flanking, I guess. Flanking for blocking creatures. Of all the creatures to flank you, this little zombie thing. Oh no, Knight of the Last Breath. That's not a flyer. So maybe it's not so bad. The cool thing is if we kill that, we can get it back and we get the flyers. So that's kind of fun. Yeah, what happens here? Maybe we just do it. Maybe we just run out Rakdos immediately and see what happens. To be fair, we get more damage in here if we attack with the Mangler first. You're getting a Tails Knight of the Last Breath. Destroy each creature if it comes up tails. Alright, Rakdos. Destroy. This is too fun. It does it automatically, so let's see. Let's see what happens. It's about to be a mess. Okay, it kills our Plague White and their Knight, and that's it. So I'll take it. I'll take it, and I'll literally take that Knight, please. As long as they don't discard the Mockery. Consume. You gotta be kidding. Nice answer. I said they were good answers to the best cards in the format. I wasn't kidding around. Ah, I wish. So, we can't get back our own creature. We can only get back their Knight. So let's go ahead and do that now. Swing out there. They did leave back their Spirit to kill our Mangler. Does that matter? Effectively, we're keeping their Spirit back by not attacking with the Mangler. So I'm just going to do this. And then, once they trade off with these spirits, we can attack in with our Mangler. Maybe that'll work out. Sucks that they gain all the life from the consume. What happens here? No blocks, because it just really tears through anything that blocks it. And they'll have Orzhov lock it up if they want it, which they don't. Get to the point. I think that's pretty nice here because it lets us attack on the ground. Specifically with the Plague White. But maybe we can save it. 3/7, because we can still get in with our Enforcer, which they'll block with their Blade Juggler. Yeah, they just want to trade off with everything they can. So I'm going to go for this. Rakdos Firewheeler, top that. Attack with everything except the Mangler, because that does keep their stuff back. And they're going to block a little more damage. Huh. Yeah, and if they want to attack us with their Juggler, we can block it. Tough position here. I could also see them only blocking 2 spirits to keep our Mangler back forever. But it's the same result, like the Mangler is canceling with this spirit. And potentially, like next turn, we're going to do 2 to them and 2 to a creature. So, yeah, funny turn here. I don't see really why they would prefer to kill this, unless it's the only creature that can get through another big creature they have. This is just taking a while, and I'll be back when they've... Okay, they've done it. We're back. We're here. Now we've got another big monster, Debtor's Transport, and that's why they were considering getting rid of the white. I guess the white's pretty good against that too. Taken 2. Firewheeler, what does that do? That lets us get in 4 damage in the air. I don't want to activate that transport, so I'm just going to go ahead and do this and kill their flying blocker. Triggered ability them and your spirit, and I'm coming in with everything except the Plague White. Oh no. What do they have? Maybe they can flicker their spirit token and save me some trouble. Final payment. Killing our thing. Yeah, it's not too bad. All right, we just killed them in 2 hits here. It would have been better if they had sacrificed their debtor's transport, so I guess I'm happy with what's happening. They preferred to save 2 black. Maybe that's telling of what else they could have. Maybe a second cry. Blade Brand, Death Touch there, just because. Okay, great. Yeah. Yeah, honestly, they should have just sacrificed their transport to get good blockers. Funny matchup. I feel like we're favored in a matchup like this, but they have one really scary card, which is -2/-2 to everything. That is a scary card. We can try to go over the top a bit by putting more expensive creatures in there. I have our Blade Brand. The Plague Whites are still pretty good, I think. Demise is good. Ill-Gotten Inheritance is a nice sort of stall breaker. Take out a Roustabout and put in just a big monster. That should be good enough. 2. Well, they're putting us on the play, which could be very good for us, especially with something like Spectacle. Swamp. A little late Footlight Fiend, but whatever. And this next turn, you can kind of do these psychological games where you don't play your land first, and then they don't really have in their mind like the best thing you could do with the extra land. They might not even know if you have it. So, you know, sometimes you want to play your land first to hold up a trick or something, but I don't know, doing it that way seems to make sense. Usually your creature is going to be more impactful than Ill-Gotten Inheritance, but in this case it's just not true. So we win the game. We cannot lose now. They might as well concede, but they could play it out. Ill-Gotten Inheritance is just too good, and they're already pretty far behind. It's too good. Oh. You know what I think? I think they're trying to bait us into overextending and then wiping the board, so I'm not going to play any more little creatures. We don't need to. I mean, 5 turns we're going to win on board. And that's how they come back, just exiling a whole field full of creatures. Let's see, 3, 4, 5. They're pretty low here. Grasping Thrull. Grasping Thrull is fine. Trying to think. Let's exile that, because we can't exile much bigger than that. Give this thing haste. Discard Cult Guildmage. Because I definitely want land. And this puts them low enough that they're down within inheritance range. And I will play the Fiend and the land. So if they remove all our creatures, I mean, they're dead to inheritance, and the Fiend pings them for 1. So it's pretty safe here. Great. See you in the next match. Round 2 versus Jose Cabezas. Would you like to play first? Yes. Get us ahead. Get us on the board. I'll keep this one. Not as exciting as some hands, but that's pretty much how you want to start. You want to start with the least exciting stuff, and then draw into the exciting stuff. Then again, I usually just draw into more lands. Simic. Simic open the gates. They probably find another gate here. Whoops. And we can keep track of what they find. Orzhov Guildgate. It's a fun combination. And a powerful one. Can we get enough out there to destroy them? I'm glad I'm on the play, kind of, because we're going to get this early damage in there, which might make all the difference. Second gate is Gateway Plaza, so they really are just 5 colors, or just a big gate deck. Next turn they could wipe our board, and they probably just have to. Yeah, so my plan is to play Mangler post Wrath, if they elect to do that here. It's Gates Ablaze. Yeah, 3 damage to all creatures. We can ping them. How did I know they have it? Because that's pretty much why you build this deck. That's pretty much why. Okay, more land. That's magic for you. More land than we can ever use. Do they have another one? They may have multiples. I wouldn't be too surprised. Or just this thing. Were we in the draft with this player? It's pretty likely. Now I'll definitely play a land out here. And this thing can kind of start whittling away at their life or their hand. So if they can kill it, they'll probably do that this turn. Shimmer. If I were them, I'd be real tempted to run out another Gates Ablaze. That does kill both of their illusions and will open the Benthid up to removal. But then again, like, they're losing to this Mangler. So they looked at the top 4. They can get any card from that. And we have no way of knowing what that is. Then they have to shuffle 3 cards and put them on the bottom. But if they had anything useful here, they can probably cast it. Anything cheap and useful, like removal. Yeah, we really have to think twice before using this to discard from them, because they just have infinite cards in their hand. And they're going to discard the worst one each time. So it's only impactful if we can discard a card that they would have used in this game. And I'd rather just not give them enough time to play their last card. So probably the 1 damage is more useful here. But that's a tough call. That's a, you know, win the game if you do the right thing and lose the game if you do the wrong thing type play. This is also like a win the game if you draw anything and lose the game if you draw land kind of situation, but whatever. Should I F6 here, or should I bluff like I actually have something? 5, yeah, not what I want here. Okay. So, pretty clear that they have a thing to do, like a blocker. They're even doing a good job of potentially racing us. Clear the Mind #1. Could have tracked what they put in their graveyard there, but it doesn't really matter. They could have any number of things in their deck to begin with. Alright, so what is this? Gate Colossus. 12. So we don't have very long to kill them, do we? No, we don't. No, we don't. I'm not worried. Okay, it's Gates Ablaze. Maybe they drew the same copy again. Maybe it's a second copy. But we're in bad shape. And we don't have like we don't have a fireball or anything really that can kill them. I don't think. Our best bet is to play Rakdos, have them not counter it, and then win both flips, or at least the flip on the Colossus. Another Clear the Mind, so it's a cool deck over there. Get to the point. Too little too late. I'm not going to show them anything else. We needed this to not draw our 18th land. Okay, destroy target artifact. Destroy target creature with defender. Interesting. That does kill some big things. Doesn't kill any gates. Death touch. Tougher creatures might be nice. To survive the Gates of Blazes, but those are just going to do 4 damage to anything anyway, which deals with most of what we have going. Now, Scrabbling Claws. There is a card that they won't be prepared for. Bladebrand, not as good. Ill-Gotten, still very good, and the Vampire's still very good. I don't need Deface. I have all of these get to the points, and while I'm sure they have some artifacts and even creatures with Defender, it's just not all that likely to line up. Cool. Cool hand here. The Claws is one answer to them refilling their graveyard, or refilling their deck, and maybe it's not the best way we can attack a deck like theirs, but at the very least it draws a card. Not too high of a cost to put it in your deck. That's my guild gate you have over there. Exile target card from a graveyard. Shimmer. Our first catch of the day. If we didn't have a land here, I would just not exile that. Maybe that was wrong. Maybe I should have cashed it in for a card already. Hopefully they play another one. Do it. Okay. Second Shimmer. And they find a land, or just use a land. Now I definitely want to draw that card. Come on, Swamp. Yeah, not the worst draw in the world. I mean, I assume they can Wrath our board here, but we can always hope they don't. It does get them down to 15. It's too bad. They probably have 2 copies of Gates Ablaze. Wrong land. Our deck is fun, but not quite as consistent. I mean, you'd figure a 2-color deck would be more consistent, but it's just the opposite. It's just the opposite. Hexproof is a real bummer for us. So what can we do? We can kill an illusion one at a time, and then draw our third get to the point to deal with something else. Yeah. What an awful play. I'm gonna bottom the guild gate. I have to be more greedy than that. And if they counter this, then that's just over anyway. So this gives us 2 shots at killing the Benthid. It could either kill it straight off or kill the illusion, and then we can kill it with get to the point. So were they going to flicker the Benthid or bounce it back to the hand or just kill our own Rakdos? Final payment. Yes! We got the Benthid. A sweet little 2-for-1 there. Doesn't matter because every card they play for the rest of the game is going to be a complete bomb. But who knows? Okay, bottom that. Wow. So we're actually not flooding completely here. I still don't feel like we're going to win. But there are a couple hurdles out of the way. Yeah, now they're up to 30 life. Shoot. Okay. Let's give this guy haste. Swing in there. Swing in. Don't discard a card. And see if they bite. Okay, they bite. Whew. Still 1 for 1, and they're back up to 1,000,000 life. And they've got 4 cards in their hand. So, good luck. Gate Colossus, I'm sure. This is just playing what's the worst thing they could have every turn. Thank goodness. Whew. I mean, still looking bad. And they can get all of this stuff back into their deck. So every single card they have in their deck is, geez, is like a first pick, because they're just 5 colors. And we're out of options here. Prying Eyes, draw another 4 cards. Fun. It is I mean, this is a fun deck to play for sure. Play Gate, get their Colossus back. Play it for 0 mana this turn. Shoot. Yeah, it's one cheap Colossus. In fact, they probably have another Gate in their hand, and they're just saving it for the next time their Colossus dies. It's not a bad line. So how many more get to the points do we have? 1. And they cut us in half here. Technically, we could get them to 17, or we might need to use this Spire Mangler to chump block the Colossus next turn. So I guess I'll just save it here. 2 power creatures can't block it, so I can't just not attack with it. I have to flash it in. Yeah, my only option. So maybe 17 lands was too many, despite all the scrying we have and the Vandal. Can't block. Alright, well, good games. Watch out for the Gate deck. But yeah, a couple Gates of Blazes, and apparently this is the home for the recycle your graveyard back into your deck type stuff. Claws can be good against this deck, but yeah, I didn't know the game was going to go on this long, and I guess it wouldn't have really helped us anyway. The tough part was just, yeah, they had Gates of Blaze to begin with, and they 3-for-1'd us so early.